Notice anything different? Well, for those of you who have not been watching, I moved my trailer from one side of the road to the other. That was a humongous production, but it means I'm officially moving in. So with that, before we take a deep breath, the purpose of this video is to talk about resilient survival, the overcoming mindset, and a personal message from my heart that will be at the end. So we're going to do a deep breath, and I will see you on the other side. Well, I wanted to check in. I wanted to say thank you for the feedback on the previous video where I showed you almost phase 1 done on the inside of the horse trailer. And now we're going to be moving in, so it's going to be very chaotic. So I wanted to give you a sneak peek before it went ballistic. But with that, the last couple of videos I've talked about really rethinking survival, rethinking safety, security, things like that. And so as you notice, other things have changed too. But I was trying to think of a better word than kind of the scary words around survival. And the one that I think the best is resiliency, because the meaning of resilient is to bounce back, to come back from. And we're just in this moment of craziness where we can't come back just yet because we don't know where we're going. We just know that everything is changing. And the essence of our capacity to survive, it's really on the line for so many reasons. And so I want to find a way to talk about this that makes my heart happy. And the way that is when we move to the second part of the title, the overcoming mindset. And I was trying to play around with different words, like what has the best meaning. But what most of you guys don't understand is I spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to be with you in this format. And so I'm going to get to that on the other side of this commentary. But what gives me the most joy in my life, and what your feedback gives the most joy to me, is overcome. It's that capacity to move through whatever is happening, to do whatever it takes, even when you don't want to move through whatever's happening. You may cry, you may complain, you may moan, you may have temper tantrums, but at the end of the day, the energy is about doing the work by moving yourself forward. That may be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or all together. And as I move forward in my conversation with you, I'm on the precipice of humongous change. But I want the energy behind all of this to be one of resiliency and an overcoming mindset. Adversity is not something to be avoided in my world. Adversity is something to overcome, not by pushing against or controlling or trying to get your way. When I say overcome, to me that is the energy of moving forward, whether it's a fear that you have to overcome, whether it's a situation, whether it's a challenge, whether it's a loss. I really believe the beauty of the human spirit, which is why I talk about staying human, is our capacity to be resilient and to overcome. And that to me is where I want to go with you, however we talk about that. So that's sort of the essence of where I believe our power as human lies, is the decision to do whatever it takes, even if it means sitting on your rump for 10 years. It doesn't mean that you're not in the process of overcoming. I want to move past a lot of these limited ideas and tiny mindsets. I like people who move it through whatever's happening to them, not judging their process or their outcome, but the courage and the strength and the will to keep moving forward. Which brings me to the next message that's really coming from my heart. And So there's a couple things happening. One is I'm getting really close to being able to go. The only things I have left to do are to get moved in and to sell that white trailer. And so I don't know how long it's going to take me to sell that white trailer. It could be a day, it could be a month, it could be 6 months. I hope it won't be 6 months, but that's really going to be the deciding factor on when and where things go from here. But it's also, there's a lot coming to an end here. And part of my belief in resiliency and overcoming is the willingness to listen to guidance within you, make the decisions that are right for you, regardless of what anybody thinks or believes. And two, doing things that you don't want to do. And a perfect example of that is, as you will notice, I look a little bit different. And I've only cut my hair short once before, and I hated it. I hated it. I felt like it made me look like a boy. I didn't like it, and so I always swore I would never do it. But I've been getting really clear internal guidance to harden it up, to become more masculine in my physical appearance and my energy systems for what's coming. And I talked about that in a previous video in rethinking survival, safety, and security. And in another video talking about how weakness attracts weakness and that there is an energy that you project. And it isn't about your hair and your clothes. It's about how you feel that you present to the world. And there's two things. One, for those of you who have not lived in the dirt, with no plumbing, long hair is very complicated. It takes a lot of water. And the second thing is that it's defining in a way. And I wanted to shake things up. I just feel this need that there's so much change going on both out in the world and within me right now. I needed to shake things up. And part of that for me is to toughen up a little bit in my own energy. These last, oh crap, now the wind's gone. These last years here have really been about so many things personal for me. And the reality is this last year has been horrible. I've had so many things happen in this last year that I don't talk about. But I'll be honest, I only feel like I'm kind of coming out of it right now. That it's not stuff I can share. It's just that I've been in a really bad place, both inside me and outside me. What's going on inside that trailer right now, and what's going on inside this trailer, and what's been going on inside me has been bad. It's been chaotic, it's been cluttered, it's dirty, disorganized. And it's just been the last few weeks where I feel like some big changes are happening within myself. And so I don't know what the future holds. I feel like we're also at a point of time in our culture, in our world, where every conversation has to be important because you don't know if it's going to be the last one. Because at any moment the internet could go down. At any moment anything could happen. We're just at that moment in time. And so I just wanted to share this from my heart to you in how deeply I appreciate the people who have supported me in this process. Like I said in the last video, without those of you who've really stepped up, you've made my being able to survive manageable. And the whole point of moving was to be able to find a way to make a living and survive. And like you, all of the things that I do require public interaction and technology and the internet. So there's a lot of uncertainty. I don't know where things for me are going, just like most of you don't know where things are going for you. But I do know, when I boil things down at the end of the day, what makes me happiest is resiliency and this overcoming mindset. And the way I describe it to myself is how to survive and navigate this process, this journey. Not me tell you what to do, not me tell you it's going to be okay, because it's probably not. The way things are going, it doesn't look okay at all. And that's scary. But what I like in me and I like in others is just choosing to move forward and doing it anyways. If you'd seen how hard it was for me to get this thing hooked up and moved, you would understand that you have to have perseverance and tenacity in the face of adversity. And those are qualities that I admire in myself and I admire in other people. Even when that tenacity is in a direction I don't agree with, I am respectful of people's ability to just keep moving forward. That's what that whole just walk away thing for me is. That's what all the road culture is. It's moving forward. And I just don't believe we're at a time where we're ever going to go back, and who knows what lies in front of us. But I just wanted to say thank you. I just wanted to say, I don't know what's going to happen with these videos. At a real honest level, it's been so hard not having internet for this last year, like I shared in that previous video, and I don't know that it will exist. I don't know if I will have access to it. My equipment is starting to really break down. Everything that I've wanted to do and I've wanted to talk about, the documentaries and these videos and some other projects, I just don't know, because I don't see that happening at this point in time. There's just too many limitations that I've been bumping up against. And now, with the way the world's been going. So it's been a long, hard year for me, and it doesn't look like it's getting any better for everybody. But I'm actually really excited. For me, there feels like there's some big internal shifts. And so I just wanted to make this video to talk about the energy that I'm feeling, even in all the craziness. And so for those of you who are members, I talk about this in the audio, is that, this is the last week of July is our weekly interactions, our daily interactions together. I'm going to be closing the membership down because without internet, I just haven't been able to manage it properly. That's just the way it is. So without any certainty that there is a one-year future for internet or my capacity to be online. So that's going to be closing down. So, my focus is now shifting from getting this done to how I'm going to make a living and provide for myself, because I've been living, barely for so long. I don't want to do it anymore, but it may be the reality for all of us. I don't know. So things are wildly uncertain, but I just wanted to touch base. I wanted to give you a little blast of hopefully that energy of resiliency and that overcoming mindset, because it's all about this capacity that human has within themselves to move themselves forward, and that is what brings me joy. What I'm going to do with that, I don't know. What you will do with that, I don't know. But up until now, you guys have been awesome, and I am so grateful and appreciative. And so that's my message for today. That there's a willingness within me, and I hope there's a willingness within you to be agile, to deal with adversity, that to make hard decisions, to be willing to take risks, to just be okay with the crying and the temper tantrums, and that no matter what's going on out there, you have everything within you to be resilient. And that just makes me happy. Maybe not while it's happening, but the fact that we can is what I love about humans. So that's it for today. So I hope that you will choose to stay human, because that decision's coming down the pikeway, that you will find a way to live free, and that for those of you who get it when I say die wild, it is my hope that you find that within yourself. So I hope you have a super awesome day. We're going to take a big old deep breath, and hopefully I will see you next time.
I need my soul to scream out.